I'm your host, Welcome 23, joining me for Mother of the Year, Chapter 4, Out of the Blue! Out of the poo and into the goo. Zoe, you run to your daughter as she has an allergy attack, trying to tamp down the swelling of panic in your gut as Zoe gasps for breath. What's happening? Is Zoe okay? She ate something. She's allergic to soy, but she's careful, so she always checks the ingredients. Should I call an ambulance? I don't know. Probably not. I've got her epinephrine injector if the reaction is serious. Grab your purse and search the injector. Shh, baby, it'll be okay. Can you speak for me? It feels like ants are crawling in my mouth. Good. If she can still talk, her throat can't have closed over completely. Iko rushes over and kneels beside Zoe. With a gentle touch, she palpitates her throat and under her jaw. Zoe winces slightly. Can you help calm her down a little? I need to see how much of her wheezing is actually anxiety and how much is the allergy. Mom, I'm scared. Hugo said there wasn't any soy in it. I just took one bite. You take a mental note to have several words with Hugo. Squeeze Zoe's hand, trying to quell your own panic enough to calm her. Sweetie, why don't you, recite the periodic table for me? That always calms you down. And how else would I remember it? There's a song you like. It's, antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and uranium, nickel, and neodymium. Okay, I think that's enough elements for today. I'm not even at the best part of the song yet. How about you sing the rest for me later, when you're feeling better? Am I gonna be okay? Don't worry, Zoe. I'm pretty familiar with food allergies. Can you open up for me? Zoe opens her mouth, and Iko peers inside. Afterward, she touches her forehead and the back of her hand. Good news, your airway is clear, and everything looks okay in there. Your mouth might feel a bit itchy for a little while, and I see some hives on your neck, but nothing serious. Iko turns to address you in an even, reassuring tone. I don't think she'll need epinephrine, but antihistamines are in order. You check the pill bottle in your purse. Empty. Crap. I usually have some on hand, but I'm all out. Let's get her to the nurse's office. Joy has about plenty. Zoe, you ready to go for a little ride? Zoe nods miserably, and Iko scoops her in her arms with surprising strength. Zoe instinctively clings to her neck, and despite her discomfort, smiles a little. Luz and I can take care of your booth, Tara. Go be with your daughter. Smile gratefully at Thomas and numbly follow Iko to the nurse's office. Okay, Nico has become Bae. Or Iko, excuse me. But you know what? I'm calling her Nico. How about that? Inside the infirmary, the nurse rushes forward as Iko lays Zoe down on the cot. Hi, Joyce. What happened? She's having an allergic reaction. She ate something with soy. I don't think the reaction is too serious, but you should take a look for yourself. The nurse gives Zoe a cursory examination, much like the one Iko gave her. I'd say you're right on the money, Iko. I'd like to give her some extra strength antihistamines. It'll make her sleepy. You nod, and the nurse retrieves a bottle from the medicine cabinet and gives Zoe 2 pills with a glass of water. She makes a face, but swallows the pills. I hate swallowing pills. I know, honey, but they'll make you feel so much better. And sleepy. There's nothing to do now, but wait for the antihistamines to take effect, I'm afraid. Zoe lies back on the cot, scratching at her neck. You lean forward and plant a kiss on her forehead. You're being so brave, sweetie. Really? Of course. You know, most kids would be crying and whining, but look at you. So strong. I haven't even heard you complain once. That sounds pretty brave to me. Thanks, Mom. Zoe closes her eyes, sinking back into the pillow and trying to relax. You hover nervously at Zoe's bedside, wringing your hands, unsure of what to do. Zoe cracks open one eye. Mom, you're making me nervous now. The nurse said I'm fine. The nurse steps forward with a kindly expression. Why don't you go get her some ginger ale from the cafeteria? I'm sure it would make Zoe feel better. Yeah, ginger ale sounds nice. Oh, no. I couldn't possibly leave Zoe by herself. She'll be fine. The best way you can help your daughter is to relax a little yourself, and then ginger ale will be good for her. Besides, I'll be right here. Yeah, come on, Tara. I'll go with you. Why don't we go to the teacher's lounge? They've got ginger ale and a vending machine there. I bet the teacher's lounge here is super fancy. Zoe blinks sleepily and yawns widely. You wouldn't believe. Definitely more upscale than the cafeteria soda. And everyone's busy with the bake sale, so we'll have the place to ourselves. Shall we? Go with you, go to the teacher's lounge and get your daughter a treat. And get to know Yiko better. I shall nickname you Nico. Just in the bedroom, of course. Shut up! Okay, if it'll help Zoe, but I'll leave my cell number with you just in case. You give Zoe a kiss on the forehead and before leaving with Iko by your side. On your way to the teacher's lounge, you breathe a long sigh of relief. I can't thank you enough for stepping in to help Zoe. I know everything's fine, but every time she has the smallest reaction, I imagine the worst. I know how scary it can be, that an ordinary day could become life-threatening in a moment. Iko takes your shoulders, looking intently into your eyes. But you're not going to let anything happen to your girl, and I'm not either. I'll keep an eye out when you can't, you hear me? He pulls you into a hug and you shakily take a breath. And keep the tears from falling now that the adrenaline has passed. It seems like I need to keep you around more. You let the hug linger, the soft fringe of her bangs brushing your face, and draw back with a sheepish smile. For your talents at first aid and extremely soothing hugs. It was the least I could do. Zoe's my top student. Besides, I had the requisite experience, and I care about you. Zoe and I are lucky to have you in our lives. I'll be sure to stick around then. So, this is coming in clutch during allergy attacks. Is that part of the science teacher toolkit? It is, but I got my PhD in biomechanical engineering, which doesn't hurt either. Truthfully, it's mostly because I had an ex with a serious allergy, so I recognize the signs pretty easily by now. Your ex? What were they allergic to? He stares at you for a second, as if searching you for an indication of something, then answers, lowering her voice. She's allergic to peanuts. God, peanut products are even more pervasive than soy. You wouldn't become quite the expert being with your... You would have become quite the expert being with your ex-girlfriend. The tension leaves her shoulders as if she has been bracing for something. She smiles at you. What? Seriously, I'm lost. What? It was pretty eye-opening. We met in school while I was right in the thick of medical studies, working on a portable heart monitor for my thesis. A portable heart monitor? Feels like something Tony Stark would invent. Right? I wish I'd gotten to finish it, but I had to give up my career in biomechanical engineering field because, well, it's a long story. Before you can say anything more, the two of you arrive at the teacher's lounge, and Iko unlocks the door with a key on a cavanier at her hip. Well, that's more than enough reminiscing. Let's get this ginger ale and get back to your little girl. And, I'm not really out at work, since the PTA and faculty are pretty close-minded for the most part, so I appreciate some... Ah, that explains it. Discretion. Oh, I wouldn't tell anyone. It's not my information to disclose. Thanks. It's nice to know there's at least one person I can be myself around. Oh, of course. I happen to really like that self. So, I hope you'll keep doing that. Being yourself, I mean. She's really great. Ika laughs and a smile bubbles up on her face. You got it. One embarrassing honest self coming right up. Iko opens the doors and leads you in the lounge past a state-of-the-art kitchenette, a series of fine leather couches, and a minimalistic art. You let out a low whistle. This place is swanky. Have a seat. I'll get some ginger ale for the little one, and something nice and pretentious for us. Sparkling water, elderberry, lavender lemonade spritzer. Oh my god. Could possibly turn down the nice spritzer. Laugh and sink down into one of the impossibly comfortable couches as Iko goes over to a shiny refrigerated vending machine and feeds some bills into it. Oh, why did you leave the biomechanical engineering field? Well, sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a downer, so bear with me. She chews on her lip hesitantly and frowns at the vending machine and spits back out her dollar bills. I have a heart condition that runs in my family. It usually doesn't manifest until around middle age, but mine came on young. Iko. Why did you get it so early now? Is that why you went into medicine? Yes and no. I hadn't developed it yet, but when I went to school, my mother had it, and her mother before her, so I guess I was just preparing for the inevitable. I went to grad school with the goal of creating a wearable heart monitor that could stick on like a band-aid. It'd make it easier and cheaper to monitor heart conditions like mine. That would be incredible. There's so many people that could help. She resumes feeding bills into the vending machine, but this time it gets stuck partway in. Goddamn vending machines! That's weird. What's wrong? It's not taking my dollars. The bill validator must be jammed. Figures they get a state-of-the-art vending machine that's so fancy you've got to disassemble the bill validator every time it jams. They couldn't have gotten one with a biodirectional acceptance so I can just open it up and clear it. Oh, I'm sure we can just pick up some ginger ale at the cafeteria. Nah, I've got this. Nobody else at the school can be bothered to learn how, but it's pretty easy to fix if you use a simple screwdriver. Beautiful and handy. Like, just about everything. Iko dips her head low as a bright smile overtakes her expression. What kind of engineer would I be if I couldn't clear a silly little jam in a vending machine? You just sit back and actually relax and I'll liberate this ginger ale in no time. Why don't you just get it for free? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She goes over to the cabinet and retrieves a toolkit. You settle back in the couch cushions. So, what happened with the portable heart monitor? Why didn't you finish it? She hesitates as she unscrews the front panel of the machine where the bill validator is situated. I was on the verge of a big breakthrough in my design when the heart condition hit hard. I needed multiple surgeries and it left me basically bedridden for a couple of years. Oh no. You must have fought hard to bounce back. It took a lot of physical therapy and a lot of medication. It wasn't easy, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm nothing if not a fighter. Your perseverance, it's really admirable. I don't think I would have been strong in your position. She hops up to clean off a rubber belt that she's removed from the machine. Almost done. I need to let this air out for a minute, but we'll be up one functional vending machine before you know it. Anyway, I didn't go on my own. I had a lot of help to get through my convalescence. She goes over to the lounge's pantry and starts rooting through it. My ex was pretty instrumental in helping me get better, especially in keeping me from going crazy when I was stuck in bed 24/7. I'm happy you had her to help you through the hard times. It's always better to have someone in your corner. If I may ask, why did you two break up? It just didn't work out. You're about to ask more, but Nico slams the pantry door. She holds up a bag of dried apricots and a jar of gourmet mixed nuts. Behold, snacks. Raise an eyebrow at Eco, and she plops down beside you, snacks in tow. Okay. Hint taken, I'll drop it. No, I kind of want to talk about it, but it's just not a cut and dry thing, you know? There were no big fights or obvious problems. Long story short, we're going down different paths. I changed a lot, but Janelle stayed the same. We weren't compatible anymore. I'm sorry to hear that. As awful as Guy leaving was, it's easier in some ways than it was dramatic. It's hard to hold a grudge and let go when your ex did everything right and it still didn't work. Exactly. Sometimes I wonder what if, you know? But deep down I know we would have kept drifting apart. But I've angsted about my ex-woes plenty. What about you and Guy? It's your turn to dish. Let the cathartic ex-bashing begin. Guy really fooled me into believing in him. Knowing who he became, I can't believe I ever fell for his charms. He was lying about who he was the whole time, or could he have really changed so completely? Oh, Tara, you can never know for sure, but you seem to me like a really good judge of character. You certainly got Vanessa's number right away. That must have been a good in Guy before things went badly. Guy-sensei? That said, I'd still like to punch him in the jaw for what he did to you and Zoe. I doubt he'll ever show his dumb, smug face again, but if he does, you have my blessing. Of course, if he hadn't abandoned us, I never would have met you. That would have been a damn shame. Anyway, he's long gone, and I hope he's changed for his own sake. I know I have, and I'm better for it. I don't mean to drag you back down memory lane, but something you said stuck with me. You said your illness changed you, and that you broke up your relationship. Did it also have something to do with why you never returned your research? Yes and no. Sometimes life changes things for you, like it or not. After I got better, I had been out of the academic circles a while. I got this teaching gig as a temporary measure and to keep the medical debt at bay. But I really started to love it, and after a while it felt like a window to work on the heart monitor had passed. Part of me still wishes I'd finished the project, though. Well, why not try it again? Developing an elaborate piece of medical technology is a full-time job, and so is teaching. And there's 24 hours in a day, 8 hours teaching, 8 hours working on it, and 8 hours doing whatever the hell you want. 4 hours are probably which of sleep. And that's my life, and probably why I'm dying early. If there's anything I've learned from being a mom, it's that you have to fight to find time to do what you're passionate about. Who's to say you can't do both? If I chose any word to describe you, it'd be unstoppable. You know, I've just about paid off my medical bills. I've got my health back, if not now, when? That's the spirit. Maybe I will pick up my research. I'm kind of pumped just thinking about it. I may have to scale back on the weekend rock climbing and skip my welding class on Thursday, but I could carve out time. And this is why. See? Unstoppable. She smiles at you, full of enthusiasm and energy. Okay, but this has been the Eco Spills Her Guts Hour. What about you? What's a passion of yours? What inspires you? Well, I don't exactly have a half-finished ground-breaking invention in my back pocket to impress you with. Tara, I'm already impressed by you, and I want to get to know you as you are. What you care about. Anything goes. Well, in that case, I'm happiest when cooking, passionate about music, inspired by my daughter. I love music, don't get me wrong. I keep thinking if I had a child, I just wanted a son. I would do anything for him. But if it was a daughter, I'd be to do anything for her too, but inspired by my daughter. I know I'm a little bit of a broken record about Zoe, but I can't help but think this crazy world would be alright as long as she's in it. Some days are harder than others, but I'm motivated to be better than when I think of her. I always thought my mom was exaggerating when she said everything changed when I was born, but that's how it was for me with Zoe. That's beautiful. I don't have kids, but I'm astonished by how much I care for students who come through my classroom and how much I have to learn from them sometimes. Having a kid of your own has got to be like that, but on steroids. You laugh. Something like that, yeah. I love my little bean to the moon and back. And so I appreciate you helping Zoe, and fixing the vending machine, and taking my mind off things. I don't know what I would have done without you. Oh, it's nothing really. I like getting to spend time with you, just the two of us. She tilts her head and meets your gaze, her eyes twinkling. I like spending time with you too. Her gaze meets yours, a well of intensity behind her dark eyes. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see more of each other, maybe even under happier circumstances. I certainly hope so. I've shared more than enough with you today, and I usually share with anyone. Her shoulder touches yours, and for a suspended moment, she leans closer to you on the soft leather couch, biting her lip gently. I think the belt is probably ready to go now. Let me finish up. Eiko springs up, blushing, but the smile lingers on her face as she returns to her task. She reassembles the bill validator and screws the front panel back in place and grins at you. Why don't you give it a shot? You feed $1 bill into the vending machine and it works flawlessly. Moments later, you have a frosty bottle of ginger ale and 2 sparkling lemonades for you and Eiko. Alright, you're amazing, Eiko, thank you. You're so very welcome. Now let's get back. I'm sure Zoe will be happy to see her mom a little more relaxed. I know I am. You press a soft kiss on Eiko's cheek, and her eyes go wide. With a warm, shared smile, you both return to the nurse's office to bring the ginger ale back to Zoe. Hey, sweetheart, we're back, and we got this for you. You pour the ginger ale into a glass for Zoe, and she sits up to sip it. It's nice, Mom. Thanks. Thanks, Miss Eiko. Glad you're feeling better, Zoe. You had your mom and me worried. Zoe reaches up to hug Eiko. Eiko smiles as she hugs her back, then turns to you. I'm gonna get back to the bake sale and see if they need my help, okay? I'll see you soon, Eiko, and think about what I said about returning to your research. She gives your shoulder a brief squeeze and walks out the door. You settle down beside Zoe and hold her hand as she rests. After some time passes, Thomas and Luz walk in, accompanied by the nurse. Luz runs over to Zoe's bedside. Zoe, are you okay? Are you still sick? I wanted to come in sooner, but Dad said we had to give you breathing room. Hi, Luz. I'm still itchy and really sleepy, but I'm doing okay. Yeah, she gave us a scare, but the antihistamines have already helped a bunch. Would you like me to give you two a ride home? I'm sure that you're both firmly in the exhausted category. That'd be great. And thanks for covering for me at the bake sale. Not a problem. Turn to check in with the nurse. Is it okay if I take Zoe home now? Absolutely. The best thing for her now is to sleep it off. You hear that, little one? Let's get you home. You pick up the groggy Zoe, her head resting on your shoulder. All together, you leave the office. As you're walking through the bake sale towards the front entrance, Zoe points out a table where Hugo is selling brownies. That's where I got the bad soy brownie from. Oh, I'd love to give him a piece of my mind. I'll beat him up for you, Zoe's mom. Oh, I love you. You're adorable. There will be no beating up today, Luz. But if Tara were to have a friendly chat with Hugo, I'm sure we'd all understand. And cheer for you on the sidelines. I mean, if anyone endangered my Luz like that. Exchange a dark look with Thomas, he nods gravely. Do what you have to do. Oh, then I'm taking him up to the 3rd floor and throwing him off the roof. You leave Thomas and the girls behind to approach Hugo's table. Hello, Tara. How can I help you? If you have a moment, I have a few questions about Are your brownies gluten-free? Why, of course. Gluten is so gosh and off-limits in my current snack profile. Not for this mongoose. You know how it is. Besides, if your son Holden is gluten intolerant. So I take it, you read the allergen and dietary restriction guidelines I sent out with the rest of the bake sale instructions? Yes, I believe I did that. One more question. Did you use soy flour in those homemade brownies by any chance? No. I read online that all real bakers are using coconut flour for brownies these days. Really? Well, then you wouldn't mind if I go ahead and take a bite, because you can taste the coconut flour typically in the brownies. Are you trying to say that you're a real baker? As if... I saw you buying those brownies from the Whole Foods yesterday. Everybody knows you can't bake to save your life. That's a preposterous lie. I'm no way did I attempt a delicious coconut flour concoction that turned into a dry, powdery mess. Yeah, well, you should have checked if your store-bought alternative contained soy flour, like a lot of gluten-free baked goods do. What's your problem, Tara? I baked these brownies fair and square. I am an accomplished baker of delectable niche treats. Listen, Hugo, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you, but you've got to be careful when allergens are in... Tara Day, I'm frankly insulted that you would imply I was careless, and I simply don't have time to discuss it anymore. My pride as a budding pastry chef and a proud level 1 mongoose is on the line. Do you... What? What the... What? Level 1 mongoose? What the is this dude even on about? What the hell is a mongoose? What? Oh my god, I'm broken. With a huff, Hugo turns his back to you and repositions the sign, reading Delectable Homemade Brownies by Hugo to a more prominent spot on his table. Oh, Hugo. I'm trying to think of this as a teachable moment, but you are testing my patience. Instead of responding, Hugo grins widely and addresses an oncoming cluster of customers. Yes, can I help you lovely folks with some homemade brownies baked with genuine coconut flour? Choosing to take Hugo to task will teach him a lesson, and may win over his respect and friendship in the long run. How about I take him to task by beating him to death? How about that, Pixelberry? How about that? That was very cheap. Very cheap for letting Hugo have it. You slap Hugo's face down on the table and leaning close, startle the group of would-be customers, scatters. Hey, what are you doing, Tara? I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I think your precious gourmet brownies came from Whole Foods Bakery, and I know they had soy in them. And you know what else I know? My daughter is seriously allergic to soy. And guess where it says that? On the dietary restrictions guideline right above where that says that the Holden is gluten intolerant. So Hugo, can you bake up an explanation for your behavior? Or maybe you could pick up an excuse at the store. Damn, you tell him. Hugo begins blubbering dramatically. Oh, okay, you got me. I bought them at the store. My shame is considerable. And your level 1 mongoose is away. And I didn't read the ingredients before I threw out the packaging. I just assumed that real bakers would use coconut flour. To be honest, I didn't know you could even use soy flour in brownies. And this tells me you don't know how to cook, sir. He lets out another shuddering over dramatic sob. Oops. So sorry! Oh, Hugo. Sorry's not gonna cut in. You think you can make this better with an I'm sorry? You're gonna need more than that, buckaroo. What can I do to make it up to you, Tara? And Zoe, of course. I'm so ashamed that I put her through this. I feel like the old lady after she abandons the fox and the hound. Do you want a jet? I can get you a jet. What am I talking about? I can't get you a jet. But a nice, soy-free edible arrangement or a customized Crystal Soul Cleanse basket. I can do that. What's a Crystal Soul Cleanse basket? It really helps you connect with your innermost self. It's done wonders for my complexion and my anxiety. Yeah, you just broke. How's your anxiety working? Dara, I feel like you've taught me a lot in the last 3 minutes of awareness and mindfulness. I just want to clear my conscience with that Crystal Soul Clean basket. If you want to make it up to me and Zoe, you can give me all your money. Get me that jet. Oh, I'm gonna go with buy Zoe and me fancy cocoa and lattes for a week. You've caused me to lose about a week of my life from the stress of today. The least you can do is make the next week a little less strenuous. Oh, free coffees for a week, please? I can already taste the caramel macchiatos, and Zoe just loves a good unicorn cocoa surprise. Done, I'll do it. You took time out of your day to face me on behalf of your daughter, but more importantly, you made me face my own flaws. Hugo suddenly puts both hands on your shoulders and looks you directly in the eyes. Only a true friend isn't afraid to help her friends grow. You're a good egg, Tara Day. Oh, You're a good egg too, Hugo. There's some hope for you yet, buddy. Hugo beams as he lets your shoulders go, and you give him an awkward thumbs up. Return to Thomas and the girls. Nobody messes with my daughter. Who needs a knight in shining armor when I have my mom? I feel deeply sorry for anyone foolish enough to cross you or Zoe. Let's get out of here. Luz takes Zoe's hand, and the three of you follow Thomas to his car. You, Thomas, Zoe, and Luz arrive at your apartment and lay a drowsy Zoe in her bed. How are you feeling, sweetie? Kinda better, but pretty bad. Still itchy? Zoe nods, her little upset face making your heart clench. Well, just try to rest. You kiss the top of her head and come over to Thomas and Luz, who are standing at the threshold. Is she gonna be better in time for the field trip to the Science Museum this week? Zoe's been so excited about it. It's all she can talk about. Don't worry, Luz. She'll be fine. I know it's scary, but Zoe's tough, and she's had worse allergic reactions than this. Really? Really. I'd probably have died down by morning, but the antihistamines will make her more comfortable until then. Can I stay with her until she falls asleep? I promise I'd be quiet and won't talk too much or anything. Overhearing, Zoe sits up in her bed, her eyes big and pleading. Please, Mom, can she stay? Well, I'd be alright for staying a while if it's okay with you. Letting Thomas and Luz stay will help Zoe distracted from her allergy and give you some alone time with Thomas. Thanks, Zoe's mom. I mean, Miss Day. Luz, you can call me Tara. Thanks, Tara. I feel like we're friends now. You catch Thomas smiling at you and his daughter. I do too, Luz. Now, you two have fun. Luz skips over to Zoe's bedside and curls up in a chair beside her, starting an exciting, whispered conversation. As soon as you're better, I have to show you the cool tree I saw in the park. I bet we could climb so high and pretend we're like space pirates. Space pirates sound so cool. smile fondly at them and go in the living room with Thomas. Thomas stands there awkwardly for a moment, as if not knowing what to do now that he's alone with you. The silence stretches out for a few seconds too long. We could... Do you want to... Two of you laugh as you both speak at once. What are two single parents supposed to do in expected leisure time? We could always crack open a bottle of wine and have a go at one of Zoe's Lego sets. Oh god, those things are difficult enough without wine in the picture. What? No, they're not. Maybe we can save that undertaking for when my 9-year-old Lego expert is feeling better. Thomas chuckles and some of the awkwardness is dispelled. We could play cards, perhaps? I used to have a regular poker night with some friends. Sometimes gin rummy. Gin rummy it is. Prepare to have your butt handed to you. You retrieve a battered old deck of cards, and the two of you take a seat at the kitchen table. Thomas shuffles expertly before dealing out the cards. You're surprisingly good at that. Were you a card shark of your weekly poker night? Nah, I just lost as much as I won. My poker face was pretty decent, but my gin rummy is where I truly shine, so don't get too cocky, Tara Day. Thomas draws from the pile and discards a card from his hand, chewing his lip thoughtfully. Of course, we haven't played in a while. Who has the time for that anymore? Are you saying you've gotten rusty? Interesting. You wish. I still got the moves. You and Thomas discard at the same time, and your hand lingers on his. Oh, you've got moves, alright. But I get what you're saying. Single parenting has a way of stealing all your free time. Before Zoe was born, I used to stay up all night reading, go dancing until dawn, take off random weekend trips. Stay up all night reading. I hadn't pegged you for a bookworm. My reading glasses would say otherwise. When I was in college, I'd go through a few books a week. And if I got my hands on a really good book, I'd read until the sun came up. You shuffle a new card into your hand, not really looking at the cards as you reminisce. Those were some good times. I wonder what it would have been like if we'd met each other back then, when we were barely done being kids ourselves. Like, are we talking multiverse style here? Sure, a different universe, different versions of us. It took Loves to see Into the Spider-Verse. I can keep up. Ooh, I'm impressed. Laugh and consider it for a moment. I think we could have been close friends, been too different, dated. Thomas raises an eyebrow. Come on, imagine it. Maybe alternate universe, Thomas and Tara were prom dates. God, I haven't thought of a prom in ages. I went with Suzanne Thomas. Everyone made fun of us for being the two Thomases. Considering she ditched me halfway through the junior prom for Dave Anderson, I think alternate universe me had the superior prom date. And it would have been his genuine honor to be the other Tara's boyfriend. On behalf of the other Tara, I'm thrilled. I think we'd be a good match. Sounds like the alternate universe Tara and Thomas would have had it pretty good. You'll forgive me if I stick to this universe, of course, because I wouldn't trade being Zoe's mom for anything. I may not spend as much time getting lost in a book anymore, but reading with Zoe and sharing my love of books with her makes it all worthwhile. I'm with you there. I still remember the day Luz was born. It was the happiest day of my life. She was so small, and now she's grown so much, and her personality's gotten even bigger. She's always changing, too. It feels like just like yesterday she was playing princess and cooler princess with her Barbies, and now all she can do is talk about soccer. I had to throw out the whole Christmas list and start from scratch. You laugh as you discard another card, picturing Thomas scrambling for gifts at the last minute. I know what you mean. So we used to go to kindergarten dressed as Spider-Girl, make licorice stick spaghetti. Ew. Well, let's go Spider-Girl. She refused to take it off for months. The only time I could wash it was when she was sleeping, and sometimes she even wore it to bed. Thomas's deep, pleasant laugh reverberates warmly through the air. Why do all kids need to go through a phase? Can't they just like things a moderate amount instead of fitting several years' worth of obsession into a couple months? One thing I wish she hadn't grown out of is her boogie dance phase. Boogie dance? That's what she called it. She was 5, after all. The rules of boogie dance are simple. You drop everything and dance together. No matter where you are, the mall, kindergarten, the middle of a sidewalk, anywhere. Thomas abruptly sets down his hand of cards and a bright smile on his face. Well, I'm no Zoe, but would you indulge me in a boogie dance, as it were? Only if you're willing to switch up the steps a little. It depends. What does that entail? Alright, Mr. Lawyer, trying to get all the clauses and restrictions up front, just trust me. I do implicitly. Then take my hand. He does as you say, and you guide his other hand to your waist. He smiles as you put your free hand on his shoulder, and the two of you sway together. It's not exactly traditional boogie dancing. A little innovation never hurt anyone. This is nice. You lean in closer, wrapping both arms around his neck. I didn't prepare my dancing shoes. I haven't slow danced for a long time. Well, it's still a boogie dance. We're pretty much obligated to get silly. He takes your hand and leads you in a spin, and the two of you shimmy and slide across the laminated kitchen floor, laughing as you go. Well, I'm having a good time with you tonight. He pulls you close and sways with you, then gently releases you and puts a little space between the two of you. I haven't been able to relax with someone like this before... Well, before Soldad died. It's a complicated feeling. You deserve to find happiness. I know that after my ex left and Zoe was so confused and upset, I felt bad for seeking happiness outside of her and Guy. Obviously, Guy was an asshole, but maybe it's a sign of how far under my skin he got that he left me, and I felt guilty going on dates at first. Every moment of happiness without him felt like I was betraying him and Zoe. What if he came back and our family went back to normal? Exactly. I understand that Soledad isn't coming back, but the thought of making a happy life for myself without her feels unthinkable. But I know that I have to find that, and if not for myself, for Laz, I have to show her that it's possible. That's what I learned. It took a while, but once I really, truly accepted that I was better off without my ex, I knew I owed it to Zoe to be happy. You're a wise woman, Taride. I hope I can take your example to heart. He smiles softly at you before looking away, conflicted, just as you hear Zoe's bedroom door creak open. Sleepy-looking Luz shuffles in, taking care to close the door quietly behind her. Everything alright, darling? Yeah, Zoe fell asleep. Gets off by an enormous yawn. Looks like you're almost there yourself. I think it's time to get my own little muppet to bed. Come on, Lulu. I'm sorry we couldn't finish our game, Tara. Next time, perhaps? Sure, next time. Thomas starts steering Luz towards the front door. He turns to you as you walk them there. You're sure you'll be alright looking after Zoe tonight? Don't worry, the worst is over now. We'll be fine. Good to hear. You open the door, but before they step out, Luz surprises you by giving you a big hug. Oh. Thanks for letting me stay with Zoe. I hope she feels better real soon. You squeeze Luz back. Thank you, Luz. I'll let her know you said that. Luz lets you go and moves out into the hall. Thomas hesitates on the threshold, looking from you to the hall and back, his face slowly reddening. At last, he steps forward and follows Luz's example and embraces you. He sighs as his arms envelop you, enjoying the warmth and support. Have a good night. I'll talk to you in the morning to check in. I look forward to you. Close the door behind them and let out a long exhale through your nose. You cross to Zoe's room and go inside. You curl up in the chair by Zoe's bedside with a book, settling in for the long night. The next day, you and Thomas take the girls on a weekend hike to celebrate Zoe's recovery. I'm so glad we were able to get the girls outside on such a beautiful day. An even bigger shock that we were able to get you out of the office. I'm astonished you're working through the weekend. Or not working. Your phone pings in your pocket with an incoming text message and you peer at it. It's the PTA. Oh, now who's working on the weekend? Congrats on the bake sale, Tara. Oh, yes, it was such a huge success. And you look super cute. Not to mention your takedown of Hugo. That was rough, but so badass. Hey, I'm still in this chat, you know. But it was actually really cool that you stood up for your daughter like that. I've been meditating on my shortcomings, so you like really help with my personal growth voyage. Oh my god. Uh-huh. Did you go home and eat your soy missing brownies? Also, I'm really, really, really sorry. It's okay, Hugo. Seriously, you don't have to text me apologies and updates on your personal growth voyage every few hours. Well, I'll just say that you did a really awesome job, all around, and you should meditate on your awesomeness. Your bake sale sales, the talk of the Bernhardt rants. That's short for parents. Yes, I suppose you didn't ruin it. Sorry to disappoint, Vanessa. Ooh, LOL! Burn! I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Now I'm sure you'll all enjoy your 3-day weekend. But I'll remind everyone that we have the 4th grade field trip to the Science Museum coming up this week. We need at least 3 more parents to volunteer as chaperone. Delula and Hugo, can I expect you to volunteer as usual? Of course. You can always count on us, V. I volunteer as chaperone. Oh, fun! Are you sure? It might take time out of your busy schedule. I think I'll be able to squeeze it in. As long as you're sure. I mean when I said thanks. Don't question my parenting. I'll come through this phone and beat the... Everything alright? Yeah, just figuring out some upcoming field trip details. Let's forget about that and have some fun. Luz and Zoe run around, jumping on rocks and playing in a small creek, winding through the shallow ravine. I bet I can catch more frogs than you. No way! I'm the best frog catcher. I'll get 40 frogs! Call out to the girls. Be gentle and release any frogs you catch. We will, Mom! Shake your head fondly, watching them scamper off. Love seeing Luz so happy. There was a long time after Soldad's death when Luz would go entire days without smiling. Losing a parent at such a young age had to be difficult. Yeah, Luz changed after that. She and her mom were close, and there were so much they were looking forward to doing together. Soledad grew up in Guadalajara. She always dreamed of bringing Luz back with her to visit, but she never got the chance. I'm so sorry, Thomas, but, you know, you could always take Luz there yourself to honor Soledad's wishes. He lets out a troubled sigh, scuffing his shoes on the dirt. I know that logically, and I've been trying to live up to Soledad's example, helping Luz feel connected to her own Mexican heritage. My family came from Mexico in the 1920s. Back then, they were under huge pressure to assimilate to American culture. They still are, my friend. They still are. We've lost a lot of our traditions since then. Where I met Soledad, I felt really disconnected from my cultural heritage, and now that she's gone... To be honest, Soledad was my lifeline back to Mexico. I've grown up with people assuming I'm white and saying I don't look Mexican. Oh my god! Thomas is me, guys! We're done. But you are Mexican-American. Tell that to the people who assume all Latinos are supposed to have a look a certain way. After a lifetime of hearing stuff like that, it's easy to feel like a fraud. That's part of the reason it's been so hard, trying to teach Luz about her heritage without Soledad's help. You're not a fraud. It's your culture too, even if you feel disconnected from it. Maybe you can connect with your daughter over relearning your family's traditions together. That actually sounds really nice. If it's important to you, and you have the right to celebrate and share it with your daughter. Thanks, Dar. I can always use a few words of encouragement to offset my doubts. It's just, especially these days, I feel like I'm not qualified to protect her. I hate when people tell me I don't look Latino, but the truth is some people will attack anyone who does look Latino. I never had the experience of being discriminated against because of the color of my skin. How do I prepare her for that? You don't. I wish I had the answer for you. Are any of us really ready for all the things in the world that could hurt our kids? I suppose you're right. But you're raising her with love, and the fact that you're really trying to be aware of this stuff and connect with her about it is a damn good sign that you're doing the better than you think. Your son, Luz, and Zoe come running back up to you, both gesturing wildly and talking them all a minute. I'll take all up and hopping around. He's so scared. Girl, slow down. I don't understand a word you're saying. Mom, it's a bird. And he's hurt. We gotta help him. Come on. The girls dart off down the ravine. You and Thomas follow them as quickly as you can. Arriving at the edge of the creek, you spot a young red-tailed hawk struggling to hop with a set of plastic six-pack rings tangled around his legs. Mom, we gotta do something. He can't fly. Helping the hawk will give you and Zoe a fond memory and a collectible to add to your new beginnings board. Hawk screeches as you approach, angry and afraid. Put a sweater over its head. That never works. Approach slowly and gain its trust. You walk forward gingerly, keeping low and holding out your open palm, a stick in your other hand. It's okay, little guy. I'm not gonna hurt you. Thomas approaches from behind the bird, so focused on you that it doesn't notice him. You get close enough for the hawk to extend its beak and nibble curiously on the stick you're carrying. Yeah, there you go. In one swift movement, Thomas swoops up the bird, pinning its wings gently but firmly to the sides to prevent it from struggling. It squawks plaintively. It's okay, buddy. You're gonna be okay. Zoe grabs Luz's hand, her face twisted with worry and sympathy for the distressed hawk. Working together, you and Thomas manage to ease the stiff plastic off its skinny legs. The second it's free, Thomas releases its hold of the wings and the hawk immediately shoots off into the air, screeching exuberantly with its newfound freedom. It loops once around the group before disappearing into the treetops. Beside you, Zoe and Luz whoop victoriously. You did it! You saved him! He gets to go back to his bird family now! You and Thomas can't help but cheer along, gladly receiving thankful hugs from the girls. You're about to climb back out of the ravine when Zoe stoops down and picks up a pristine feather. Look, Mom! It must have fallen out when you guys were helping him! Well, I guess he was so grateful that he left a little present. Why don't we, keep it and put it on the board? The day Zoe helped save a feather boy. And then we are all gonna wash our hands thoroughly when we get home. Zoe grins and nods enthusiastically, pocketing the feather. You joined Luz, scrambling out of the ravine faster than you and Thomas could ever hope. You could have washed your hands right there in the ravine, but okay. Once back on the trail, you start heading to the car, the girls racing ahead of you. You and Thomas laugh at their enthusiasm. I could get used to this, you know? Going out together with the girls, seeing them happy, getting to hang out with you. You look over at Thomas to find his gaze locked on you, a gentle smile on his lips. Oh yeah? Just hang out? A bright red blush instantly blooms on his cheeks and he sputters. Yes, well, no, maybe other thing, I mean, other activities like eating. I mean, with the girls. I mean, I did. Wow, dude, you are worse than me. You laugh and pat his arm comfortingly. Never mind. Use your words, Thomas. Yes, I like hanging out with you too. Thomas calms somewhat, but the blush remains. Together, you leave the hiking trail behind, and you can feel a warmth and contentment in your heart that you haven't felt in a long time. As if, at last, everything might work out. But wait, there is more. You and Zoe are walking your apartment after Thomas dropped you off. Zoe's still talking animatedly about her adventures with Luz. And then she said, I bet you can't climb up as fast as me. And I said, nah, and I went up really fast and almost didn't make it. But then I did, and that sounds like fun. Did you get down all right? No, she fell, broke all 3 of her legs, her 12 arms. What do you think? Yeah. Basically, I'm a pro tree climber now, Mom. You slow and you see 2 finely dressed figures, a man and a woman, or a man with his arm around a woman in front of your door. Cautious, you put a hand on Zoe's shoulder to stop her. I'm sorry, can I help? The man turns around. He's changed, looking older than when you last saw him, but you'd recognize the condescending smile anywhere. Hey, long time no see, girls. What the? Daddy? What did I say? What did I fucking say? What did I say? Called it. Hey, Logan, you seem to be right about this shit. How can you predict it? Well, you see, guys, I'm from the future. In case you didn't know, if you would like to know more about me coming from the future, to go ahead and just cover all of this, you know, knowing the future of also Pixelberry as well, you should drop by my stream sometime. I've been streaming a lot on Twitch as of lately, but we still do stream occasionally on Mixer. You should maybe follow me on both. You should also hit that subscribe button, okay? Because, you know, if you're like, man, this guy entertains me, he laughs, you know, he makes me laugh, he brightens my day, and, you know, hey, just all around awesome content, Locum, thank you. If you want to really thank me, you can subscribe if you're not already. If you are, make sure to hit that bell icon to receive notifications for when content does go up on the channel. There's also a few links down below in the description. You should check those out. And yeah, so one, yeah, people look at me like, okay, so real quick, I'm gonna do this in 30 seconds or less. I'm a Cuban. My mother is American. However, she is a melting pot of things. My father came from Cuba with his parents. People were like, oh man, you look white. Oh, ain't that funny? The group that assumed that I was, you know, white and doing voices. So I'm not going to harp on that. Long story short, I'm an introvert who also sits in a house and doesn't get much sun. I did get a lot of sun when I was a lot younger, and my olive complexion really shined through. It still occasionally will do once upon a time if I actually go outside and actually see the sun. But with that being said, yeah, try growing up in a school where it is a good, like, 45% to 50% white, 45 to 50% black, and you're literally the minority. You're the only Cuban student, you're the only one with your color of skin, and things like that. And then you're bullied by both sides. It was not fun at all. It really was not. So I certainly understand Luz, and it's nice. It's kind of, I understand where she's got the attitude. She stands up for others. In a way, people could look at her as a bully, but she's really not. And I've kind of liked Luz from the get-go, and the whole thing around her. So I'm especially liking Thomas and Luz a lot more now. I also like Eco. Like, both love interests are really solid in my opinion, and this book is going to be really hard to pick out which one. So let me know in the comment section below which one you guys are falling for, if you can even differentiate between the both of them, because both of them really have their really pros and cons. But that being said, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!